So this is lesson 1.6, and it's about angle bisectors and the angle addition postulates. So let's start with angle bisectors. A ray that bisects, we'll move several words here so you can help, or divides an angle into two angles that are, the word is congruent, which means equal or even or the same, however you want to say it. I just want you to understand that the word congruent means all of that. This is a congruency symbol right here. Little equal sign with a wavy line across the top means similar and equal. Okay, so it says that BD, ray BD, that'd be here, B through D, bisects ABC. So that means that this angle, we'll label this angle 1, and this angle, angle 2, are the same. And the way this reads is the measure of these two angles is congruent. So when you're talking about their measures, they're equal. Their measures are equal. So if this is 80 degrees, that's 80 degrees. Regardless what the picture looks like, this tells you that that's true. So for example, MN bisects PMQ, and that means that these two angles are equal. That's what these tick marks are for, to show that they're the same. So it says if PMQ, that's the whole thing, is 122 degrees, then find PMN, which would be this half of 122 degrees, which is 61 degrees. Okay, here's another example. If BD bisects ABC, then these two are equal. So I can set up a problem here showing that they're equal. Solve for x. Add 2 to both sides. Subtract 3x for both sides. Wind up with x equals 16. Oh, I added 2. Sorry. 20. So if x equals 20, then I'll find ABD. ABD, that's this one. So I take that 4x minus 2, or 4 times 20 minus 2, which equals 80 minus 2, which is 78. So the answer to my question is 78. Now, if this guy is 78, I need to know that this one is also 78. So I can answer several questions here. I could even answer ABC is equal to 78 plus 78, which is what? 156 for the whole thing. Degrees. I mean, you can answer all kinds of questions once you figure out what x is in this situation. So here's one for you to try and come back to get the answer to in after you give it a try. Okay, so here's the answer for that. You set these two angles equal to each other and solve for x. Find out that x should be 6. Then I plug that 6 back in here. 9 times 6 is... Did I do that wrong? No. 9 times 6 is 54. Yeah. Plus 10, which makes this 64. So sorry. 64. This becomes 128. Sometimes I do that, man. My brain just doesn't work. So, anyway, there's your answer. 64 added together to give you the whole angle, PMQ, which is the whole angle at 128. All right, let's go to the next page in this and talk about the angle addition postulate. So these are the two things we're learning about. Now, we just kind of did that. When I cut something in half, if I can find what half of it is, I add that to the other half to get the whole thing. So Same goes here with angle addition postulate. If we have two angles which share a side, a ray, then the sum of the two angles sharing a ray is equal to the angle formed without the shared ray. Now, I'm not trying to make that difficult. Let's look at it over here, though. So I got this big angle, RSV. So I got RSV. That's the angle, the big angle. That's equal to the little angle, RST, plus this other little angle, TSV. Did not leave myself enough room there. So I can call this angle A, angle B, and this big angle out here, we'll call it C. So C, angle C, is equal to angle A, this angle, plus angle B, this angle. Get the whole angle. All right? Or looking at just line segment angles, not rays, right? These are just line segments that form a big angle. And then this line segment is out in the middle of the big angle, splitting this into two pieces, not two congruent pieces like when we talk about a bisector, splits it right down the middle. This just busts it into two pieces. So if this is 60 and this is 40, from here to here is 60, that's angle A. From here to here is 40, that's angle B. And I want to know what this big angle is. We'll call that angle C. So angle C is equal to 60 plus 40, or angle C is equal to 100 degrees. That's the angle addition postulate. Not hard, and I mean that. It's really not hard, okay? But let's look at a couple of problems, example problems. I don't know if you can read this one. It says, find the measure of IHQ. IHQ. So this is what I'm looking for. If the measure of IHG from here all the way to here is 176 degrees, that's what that says, and QHG, this part, QHG, is 130. So if both of those added together, let me pull out some colors. Sometimes this helps with a couple of color markers to look at things with. So, got this little blue piece, got this little orange piece right here. If I add those two together, I'm going to wind up with 176. Well, I know the orange piece, so I can subtract it. And that leaves me 46 for the blue piece. And that's all it's asking me to do. So angle IHQ is equal to 46 degrees. Example 2. The measure of FCD is equal to x plus 41. And BCF, this one, is x plus 78. And then you got BCD, the big angle out here, is 95 degrees total. So find x. Well, I just add this plus this, and it equals the whole thing. So x plus 78 plus x plus 41 is equal to 95. And solve for x, because that's all it's asking me to do right there. So I got 2 x's plus 9 equals 95. Now, let me tell you what's okay and what's not okay, all right? It's okay to have an x with a negative value. It's okay. So 5 onto that would be 24. It's in the negative, right? and divide both sides by 2. X equals negative 12. That is okay. What is not okay is to have a negative angle measure. Can't have a negative 50 degrees. Can't do it. But you can have a negative X value. In fact, if I put negative 12 here and here, that would be this plus this minus 24, which would be 95. Works out just fine. Okay, take just a minute, pause the video, and give this problem a try and come back to check your answer. Okay, so if the whole angle is 60, then you're looking for RSP, which is this piece up here. But first, you've got to find out what X is equal to. So 60 is equal to these two angles added together to solve for X. And we wind up with X equals 12. Okay. So then I plug X, or the 12, back into this 2X plus 11 and get 35 for that angle. And if I plugged it back in here also, I'd get X 12 plus 13, which is 25. Add those two together, they should equal 60. There's always a way to check yourself in geometry, which is one of the reasons that I just love geometry so much, because you can check your problems. Okay, so that's the end of 1.6. There is a worksheet that's involved. If you need any help with that, holler at me during class time. Good luck.